if you're new here, I'm Kanitsi, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today I want to discuss the latest chapter of One Piece. So if you're not reading manga or you are not up to date with the latest chapter, please consider maybe leaving this video and reading the latest chapters, because there's going to be a few spoilers for you in this video regarding the latest chapters. Well, that said, I'm going to talk about, now is your time to avoid spoilers and close the video if you don't want them. I'm going to talk about Kaido's son or daughter, Yamato, and we can't really say if this is actually son or daughter, because yes, she was born a female, but it is a very complicated question of gender, because we don't really know as of yet. Does she really consider herself a man in heart, just like Kiku considers herself a woman in heart? Or is it just she wants to be like Oden, and she doesn't really see herself as a man, she just wants to pose as a man to be able to be a samurai, because a samurai couldn't be a woman, so she needs to be a man to be able to have this title of samurai. And obviously Oden was a man, so to imitate him she needs to take on this persona of a man. Meanwhile, we see some female traits in her clothes. She has the outfit of a Shinto priestess, Miko, and yes, a priestess, so it's a girl who is wearing this outfit. So she has a girl's outfit. Why would she choose it if she wants to be actually a man? And also her mask that we saw in previous chapters, it is the mask from Japanese theater, and it is meant to represent a jealous woman. So in my opinion, what we have here is a woman who is jealous, who's envious of Oden's strength and durability and character and will, and wants to be like him. But in this country of Wano, where women are seen as basically inferior and only men are seen as being able to fight, well, it's not the case maybe in Kaido's crew, because we also saw a lot of strong women in Kaido's crew, but in the Wano itself. So she feels like she needs to look like a man to fit this Oden's persona. She is a girl and she considers herself a girl. She just needs this kind of disguise to be seen as powerful, and she is actually very powerful. I also wanted to talk about her powers, because we saw her deal damage to a Zone, and Zones are really tough, and she managed to save Luffy, and she has some pretty nice raw strengths, but we don't know really if she has a devil fruit or anything. We saw handcuffs on her hands. It might be Karasaki's sea stone handcuffs that are suppressing her devil fruit powers, and she also has two horns. It could be a sign of her being a smile user, but I'm not really sure. Would Kaido give actually a smile to his child? Okay, it might be so that Kaido's horns are from his fruit, and Yamato's horns are also from her fruit, maybe some other mythical zone, maybe some other type of dragon. So what kind of fruit could Yamato have? We're not really sure, but if these handcuffs are really sea stone handcuffs, then she must have a devil fruit, because what's the point of them then? But even if they are, she still shows so much strength. So she is strong enough to overcome this suppressing power of sea stone handcuffs. It doesn't make her weak. Well, Luffy can now do this too. These sea stone handcuffs doesn't make him weak. Yes, they take away his power, but he can still lift any heavy object like he did in the prison. So here we are not really sure what to think about Yamato's power. Does she have a devil fruit, and what kind of devil fruit? In my opinion, I don't see it being a smile because it is a huge risk, and she's the only daughter, it seems, of Kaido. So probably either a regular devil fruit or a dragon from birth who can take a human form. This might be a crazy theory, but it is actually not my theory in the first place, because I already saw it everywhere that Kaido is actually a dragon who ate an oni devil fruit or just can turn into a human. So if he is a dragon, yes, the same can apply to his daughter. But if he had this daughter, maybe with Lin Lin, for example, and Lin Lin is not a dragon, so the daughter could just have born a human from dragon. This could also happen. So that is why she looks like human. She can't change into her dragon form. She doesn't have it. She was born as a human because she had a human mother. So Yamato, being a child of a dragon and a human, also gave her this raw strength that comes with this dragon gene. And if Big Mom is actually her mother, we do not know who the mother is. Maybe not Big Mom. We are also not really sure how old Yamato is. She has to be a bit over 20 because Oden was executed 20 years ago and she witnessed it and she had to understand everything, but she was probably very, very small. So 20-ish, 23, 25, something like that. So she would be near the same age as Ace. And when Ace came here, she made friends with him. We know this from the latest chapter that Yamato and Ace, they knew each other. Probably they were friends and they were having some friendly fights, because when she was fighting Luffy, Yamato said that, yeah, you remind me of my fights with him. And in the end, she added, you remind me of Ace. And that is another connection we have with one. Through Tama and through Yamato, we now have this connection with Ace, through Ace with Luffy. This is fantastic. Even though Ace is now, unfortunately, in the better world, we still have him in plot. He is still somehow relevant, and for Luffy it's going to be very important, because yes, Tama is his friend just by herself, but they are also tied by Ace, and now we have Yamato, and Luffy and Yamato are still nobody to each other, but they already have this thread of Ace tying them together. That is very interesting, and it also makes you think of Yamato's role in this arc, because we are not really sure who is the princess of the arc. We usually have this princess, like we had with Rebecca, for example, like we had with Pudding, with Shirahoshi. There's always this princess that we make friends with and we help her in some way. With Pudding it was more of a Sanji's deal. He helped Pudding in a way, made her maybe somehow a better person, helped her to go against her mother, to get the strength to go against her mother. But in Shirahoshi and Rebecca's case, it was Luffy who made friends with them, and I think here you would think maybe it is Tama who is the princess of the arc. She's so small, she doesn't fit the pattern, but well, we can change the pattern. Then we had Komurasaki or Hiyori, and you could think maybe this is the princess of the arc. And yes, Hiyori, she got this connection with Zora, so she's a safe option, but now she's somewhere in the Northern Graveyard. We're not really sure. Is she going to take part in all the upcoming events? But now we have Yamato. She's a daughter of Kaido, who is now a ruler of Wano, so basically we can call her actually a princess, a reigning princess, should I say. and now she's making friends with Luffy. So in my opinion, her role is of this princess of the ark, because also her dream is connected to Wano. She inherited from Oden the wish to open Wano's borders. So her dream is going to be fulfilled by Strawhats in this very arc. And her name Yamato, in the box it is not written in kanji, but I found the word in kanji Yamato that looks the same, and it means peaceful, peace, harmony, things like that. It was a land in Japan, in Yamato region, in Yamato period, that then later was renamed in Nippon or Nihon or Japan. So it is all very tight connected to Wano theme, since Wano represents Japan, and the name itself, if it really means harmony and peace, it would be so fitting for Yamato to help bring peace to Wano. At first I thought her name is a reference to again Yamato no Orochi, and I was thinking in the line of her devil fruit, of her powers, but now I think I was wrong, and it is actually Yamato ending in O, and Yamato no Orochi ends in A, Yamata. So probably her name means peace. She is the one who will bring peace, who will bring harmony to one, or at least will help to do so. This all makes her, in my opinion, fit this role of Princess of the Ark, and it also answers the question, do I think Yamato can become a new Nakama, part of Straw Hats? Well, honestly, of course I would not mind. She has a red design. I love her. But just hear me out. I don't think it is going to happen. Because, first of all, we need a huge dream that cannot be fulfilled right here and now. And for Yamato, we don't really have this. She does have a dream, but it is going to be fulfilled by the end of this arc. And what then? She can go on voyage with us, but maybe not as a Nakama. Just as Oden gone with Roger, maybe he was considered in a Nakama, but it mostly looked like with Whitebeard and with Roger, he was maybe part of the crew, but he wasn't completely like 100% I'm here and I'm going to stay here. No, he went from Whitebeard to Roger, and then he left Roger. He was more of a free spirit in this regard. He wasn't really incorporated in the crew this tightly. And probably Yamato is going to be the same free spirit. And the other thing Nakama needs to have is a role on the crew. What would be Yamato's role on the crew? Probably the writer of a logbook. Maybe that is not such a bad idea. Like she would have a new dream of writing her own logbook. It could be interesting. So yeah, there is a chance of her joining, but honestly I do not see it. But yeah, here is a chance for you. Here is an idea how this could happen. What role could she have? But I'm not really sure about this. Carrot could join. She has a dream. She has a tragic death in her past, that of Pedro, and she also has a role, a lookout in the crow's nest. So for now, for me, Carrot is a more viable option. Probably Carrot is going to join, and it would be strange for two people to join in one arc. Maybe it will happen. Like, you can always hope. If you really like Yamato, you can always hope that she's going to join. But for me personally, I just don't see it happening. Okay, I think the only things left that I wanted to talk about are Yamato inheriting Oden's will and her relationship with Kaido. So we will start from the will, and it is really a very interesting topic because just recently I read Return to Reverie fan manga, and it explored the idea of inherited will very nicely, and now I'm thinking about it. Different people can perceive this will differently. And meanwhile, for other guys, inherited will is like carrying the ideals of a person dear to you, while saving your own personality with you. But for Yamato, it is very different. Her idea of inheriting will is inheriting basically a whole persona. There's no Oden, so there needs to be a new Oden. She saw him die for his ideals, and she had this thought, little Yamato, this person died, and there's nobody else to replace him. Somebody has to replace him. She didn't have the thought he had these ideals, and I can go further with these ideals. I can inherit will from him, and I can act on it and help Wana and open Wana's borders. And she also found the logbook, so she probably knows why he wanted to do that. She probably knows a lot, but it all happened later, probably already after she took on this persona. So her thought of inheriting will was to replace this person completely and basically build a new Oden. And that explains her design also, because when we see her still as a son, when we don't know all parts of her identity, we see that she really looks like Oden in her clothes. So yeah, she tries to imitate Oden because in her mind it is the only way she can fulfill his dreams and execute his will. So probably the evolution for Yamato could be her understanding that she can still reach these goals without posing as a man and embracing her femininity and understanding that she can still be strong, can still be a samurai while being a female. Well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in the next chapters, Oda will explain that she really feels like a man, like Kiko. But for now, we don't really see any hints for this, in my opinion. But it is interesting how Kaido accepts her choice. He calls her a son. He uses male pronouns. I didn't read it in Japanese. I read it in English translation, but it looked like he addressed his daughter as a son, as a male. So where does it come from? Is it because Kaido actually respects her choice? This father who beat her up when she was small and told him she wants to be like Oden? So domestic violence is okay, but accepting her identity is a different thing. I'm not sure what to think about it. Maybe. Because again, Wana is such an old traditional country that sees women as inferior, not warriors. Maybe Kaido has to tell everyone that he has a son because he needs to have a son, not a daughter, a man. So maybe it's not about respecting Yamato's wishes. Maybe he just rolls with it because it suits him. Kaido also thinks that Yamato is an idiot, so his opinion of Yamato is not very high, but I think now we know why. He thinks that Yamato is an idiot because she wants to be Oden, basically. Yes, I can see why he thinks it is problematic. She basically wants to be a different person from who she is. Is it really okay? I'm not sure. Maybe Kaido doesn't think so. Or maybe he thinks she's an idiot just because he doesn't want her to be like Kazuki Oden in general. I think it is something between those. And the last point I want to make about Kaido and Yamato's relationship, it looks like, it doesn't really sound good, but it looks like Kaido held his own daughter or son kind of hostage, because it really looks like it. Like Yamato was held in some rooms, maybe somewhere in a Nigashima or a single room, handcuffed, not being able to go away. And maybe when she heard about Luffy, about this wind of change, she managed to break out and go and find Luffy. So she was held hostage in her own home, basically. In my eyes, this is how it looks. So not only Kaido beat up a child, he also held his own child in handcuffs, separated from the road. It doesn't really sound good for Kaido, and he's also an alcoholic, so not the best father in One Piece. We don't really have a lot of good father figures. We have Pound, we have Beige. Do we have anybody else? Kaido isn't really adding to the list. No, there's also one more point I wanted to add. Kaido has an announcement, and maybe this announcement is connected to Yamato because he also wanted to find Yamato, so he wanted her to be present, and he also wanted Big Mom to be present. We also talked about family being a family issue. So, well, family issue is Yamato disappearing, but still, this is about family. Kaido, Big Mom, and Yamato. What if Yamato is not their child? It is only Kaido's child from some other woman. And they now want to seal their alliance, Kaido and Big Mom, by marrying their children. Maybe, for example, Yamato and Katakuri. Why not? It would make perfect sense for Big Mom to try and seal their alliance with marriage, and maybe Kaido would not mind. What do you think about this idea, guys, and all the other ideas I mentioned in this video? I really want to discuss Yamato, and we have a break this week. I believe we have a break this week, so there's nothing else to do aside from speculating. Please share your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. See ya!